You're Allard's neighborhood. This is the place where you're entitled to Brad's opinion. And now for your host, Brad Allard.
Well, we survived Thanksgiving week. I have Jennifer Woods here from Harvest House. You had a busy holiday, it sounds like.
Yep.
And we had our family come in. We had it at our house for the first time because my parents are getting up there a little bit. And so we had traditional Thanksgiving steak. We grilled.
Yummy.
Yeah, I don't like turkey that much. And it was all good, you know. And understand that, though, you had to make a quick trip to Minnesota. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
There and back.
There and back. And then you try to put some sort of holiday on. And
We visited my family, so that was nice.
Mm-hmm.
We
Well, it's that's the thing about holidays. You need a vacation from the holidays afterwards, to rest up. But anyway, you've got a full week this week. It's a typical week, shall we say? And there's lots going on at the Harvest House. Is this a busier time of year than normal?
Oh,
well,
yes.
It's always busy, but
No, this is busier than normal.
yeah.
I don't know what our numbers were. Let's see, the week before, but we were having 100 people a day. I've been off for the week, so I don't have the numbers. But
it's all right.
Yeah, but we normally, I don't know, next month I'll be able to tell you. But we normally have, 500 to 600. I bet we had more.
Well, I
more.
was talking to my friend Dave.
I'll see if I can find out.
Well, okay. My friend Dave works over at Promises, and I saw him. He was there yesterday. We go to Sunday school together. He was there last week, and he said that they were packed, and they expected to be so during the week. They had shorter hours because they're giving their folks the Thursday and Friday off, and early Wednesday, and said they expected tremendous business, and so. This is just a busy time of year, I guess, and we've talked about this many times before. How things are just changing in Burleson, and more people are accessing your facility.
Absolutely, and we're collecting the data because it's different data now. So just trying to figure out what is that threshold of families that are coming financially. I can't remember where I was reading it, but I was reading something just the other day, and they were just talking about that how. Somebody's talking about their friends and they're struggling, and everybody is struggling. It sounds like we have a little relief coming with that tax bill passing.
Well, yeah, but it's a hope. I'm not going to be pessimistic, but I'm also.
Does it still have to pass somewhere?
No.
Okay.
No, it's good to go. What's going to happen is what I've been told is that if you have an escrow account, they're going to recalculate your escrow, and you'll get the overage. And if you've already paid your house off, the county will send you your money. I'm waiting to see what happens to my insurance. Okay, I've been told multiple times about insurance.
It's like doubling.
Yeah, and so how much will that change? I do expect a smaller payment by a little bit next January, but we'll see.
I don't know if it comes up true because I'm trying to remember when mine renews, but I know the amount that I was going to get in the adjustment for the taxes. Oh my gosh. I was like, I just took a deep breath because I'm like, that's going to change my life a little bit. I mean,
yes, it is.
It's going to be amazing. And I hope that really does take some of the pressure off of families because that's been one of the big things. But they're also saying, like you just said, insurance is doubling because of so many catastrophic things. Like they're not even writing insurance. This is not my lane, but they're not even writing insurance in certain places in Tarrant County.
Right. I have a friend in my networking group that's an insurance agent, Texas Farm Bureau, and she's told us this for 6 months that rates, not just rates, are just going to go up, but also that she is now limited on how many home policies she could write because the Texas Farm Bureau has been swamped because other insurance agencies are declining to write, and so it's
pretty crazy.
It is. It's very much so. But anyway, we're going to talk about other things that are more fun.
But it's related to Harvest House because those things are they impact our numbers and it's just it's pretty crazy. So it's been good though. I mean, the community, oh my gosh, some of the food drives and stuff we've had have been enormous, and new people and new groups, the dad bods, car wash guys, the Booze Vikings, they came in with just ridiculous amount. It's just, they came in 6,000 and they were like, or 7,000, something like that. And they're like, next year we're going to do 10. But we've have many groups like that. They just, groups of people, they know there's a need and they're stepping up, and I'm really seeing it. And I think that's so exciting.
We're going to run through the first round of sponsors. We also got a couple other nonprofit things to talk about this week. Hey, be careful with the mic. All right. CrossFit Burleson, 317 Southwest Wilshire. Time to work off that turkey and gravy. And it's supervised workout. It is a planned workout. You have trainers. You have supervision. They got all sorts of classes. They got all sorts of accommodating times. So check out CrossFitBurleson.com to find out what fits you. Also, Shandy, I was just texting with her over the holiday, and she says she's keeping busy, but, we read all about how in the news about housing is dropping like in Dallas County, but here in Johnson County, it's still moving. So if you're thinking of moving in this area, then you need to talk to Shandy. She can take care of you really well. Also, thank you to Otto. I'll be seeing Otto today. I've got to go by and have a little time. I'm going to have a little brunch over there because it's a good place to spend an hour and talk and have some coffee. He'll be around acting like the big celebrity that he is. So it's going to be a nice morning. Anyway, our place, great food and great service. You know it. Allsbury and Highway. Also, Wild Cigar. They got something going on this Saturday. They have, I don't know what you call it exactly. It's like some cigar vendors are going to be there. So,
that's cool.
Yeah. I guess,
you like cigars?
Yes. And, they all know them. I've gone over there more than once, not just as a sponsor care kind of arrangement, but also just as a patron. And I couldn't begin to tell you about the different number of cigars and types they have. I mean, it's like wine. They're all different, and you have to know what you're talking about. And if you don't, they'll help you. They got trained tobacconists over there, so it's a good place to go, particularly with all the football coming up. All the bowl games and stuff. So Wild Cigar over at the Standard. Also, hopefully this week we'll get the local Life magazine. It comes out, or she mails it on the 1st. That's a Friday, so you'll maybe getting it that day or that Saturday. It goes to 30,000 homes, and this is a big Christmas issue, so you definitely want to get your hands on that, see what a lot of the local people have. Also, you go into a lot of businesses, and I see several copies there, so it gets a lot of coverage, even if more than 30,000 will let you know. So Local Life, thank you, Tiffany and Nico. Hope you're doing well. Also, on Thursday, I'm going to have this young man on the show, Cody O'Brien, with the Burleson Buzz, and that'd be interesting because when he first started this, we met a couple of times because he wanted to pick my brain about what to do, and he's done really well with this. So if you hear this on the air, he'll give you a 20% discount on the Burleson Buzz, and it's already pretty affordable, so you're getting a pretty good deal, say the least. Okay, you got a lot going on, though, with Harvest House. Christmas time, I would imagine, particularly you have, a lot of parents or a parent, they want to make sure that their children have a good Christmas as best as possible. Mm-hmm. So when I went over about 2 weeks ago, I was dropping off some stuff at your resale store. Not much. A bunch of containers. You think, well, plastic containers, they didn't sound very like a big deal. I was told, we need these.
Absolutely.
You'd be surprised. No, a lot of people need these. So it actually was a pretty appropriate gift to the Harvest House. I'm like, okay. All right.
It's amazing. You might not know it's amazing.
I mean, everybody thinks it has to be like, your grandma's armoire or something like that or something fancy.
No.
But no, this was something that was pretty mundane, I thought. And they said, oh, no, we really need these. People come in asking for these. All right. And it was busy. The store was busy.
What day did you go?
It was like Tuesday of the week prior to the Thanksgiving week.
Yeah, so that day was Dollar Day. Like all clothes were $1. So we're trying to, I don't know if they're going to do another one this year. Like I said, I haven't gotten the update because I was out of town, but in order to try to clear out some of the back and stuff, we put almost all clothes on sale for $1. Yeah. So I bet it was busy.
It was. And
that's good.
Yeah. And so it was... But it was good to see, though. I also, when I was coming in to drop it off, I was like third in line, and I get in line, and there were people behind me as I was unloading. Nice. So, so it was a fairly steady stream of contributions coming in. But what's special going on for Christmas?
So, specifically for Christmas, we have our Holiday Friends event. Now, the program itself is open to our clients. They have to be existing clients. That's just our regulation, but we still serve so many people. So, and then what they have done or will do is sign up for our Holiday Friends event. And so we are specifically collecting intentional, not that we don't take younger kids stuff, but so many kids who are older, they don't want a Barbie. They're too old for it. They don't want a toy. They need something that's age appropriate. So we ask for gift cards and we ask for like age appropriate older things. I know sometimes they're a little bit more expensive, but like especially Black Friday and Cyber Monday and stuff. So for instance, I got one of those, you probably don't even know, but the girls would know.
Okay.
It's like Lange or something. I don't know how you pronounce it. It's French. But it's a really nice brand. I got a flat iron. I'm going to donate that because a teenage girl's going to love it because it's a nice brand. It's high quality, that kind of thing where it's appropriate for a kid who's 12 up to 18 in school. So trying to find things that are appropriate. So that's what we're really going for here is making sure we're serving those kids who really may not get it. It's interesting. I've just met some people this year who are big in our community now, and they grew up as Harvest House kids. I mean, they got their back to school, like Ricky Estes. You can hear his story on our donation page.
Okay.
And, he's a financial advisor. He owned Smoothie King for a while. Just a real successful guy. And, he talks about being, getting food and back to school and clothes and all that stuff from Harvest House. And he's like, I just thought that was normal,
Well, it's interesting because not recently, but about a year ago, when my dad and I were talking, and mom too, and they were asking about the podcast. I said, well, I got this and this. I got ladies from Harvest House coming in. And they started telling me that when I was small, they would go to like resale shops to get Christmas presents, like used toys.
Yeah.
I'm 4 years old, 5 years old. I could care less if they were used. I wouldn't notice the difference. But, we didn't grow up in the same circumstances most of your clients are. But we did grow up in a pretty different era, much lower income era of my dad's career. And so the first few Christmases we had, as I found out later, secondhand toys. And I really didn't care. And then as my dad's career moved on and we started moving up in the world, we could actually go to the store, go to Sears or whatever. But I didn't even know that until really just recently.
Honestly, my kids got secondhand toys a lot. I mean, because I saw a thing about normalizing this and I'm like, I love the idea of normalizing used gifts, resale type things because, why spend more? I mean, why is it just like, oh, let's spend a whole bunch of money? My kids still get resale stuff sometimes. I mean, I don't want it to be junky, but like there's a lot of resale stuff that you wouldn't know is new except for it doesn't have a tag on it.
Well, a lot of my students, who would use Harvest House, not because they had to, but because thrift buying was a thing. I don't know, maybe still is.
It's very popular right now.
My daughter bought stuff and my son bought stuff at not just your place, but the Goodwill place or that place
Rachel's
on McCart, Rachel's Hope, and that was like kind of a hip and cool thing to do to buy, and they thought they were doing pretty well because they'd buy a decent shirt for $3 or something like that. And I did that a couple of times as well because they said, Dad, you have to go over to this place because they got all these flowery shirts and all that. So I go there and $5 shirt.
Yep.
And it's still good to go. Of course, and you and I grew up in a generation probably we wore older cousins or older siblings' clothes.
Right.
As they, grew out of them.
I was on the older side of that, so I didn't get to do that. But yes, and my kids have done that. I mean, why? I mean, I think we, this is not what we're talking about today, but I think we can normalize resale because there's nothing wrong with it. If you can't afford it, why stress out about it? And, it's fun to give gifts. So why not give resale gifts? I love it.
Yeah. But as far as this Holiday Friends,
we want new ones there.
What does the community need to do?
So on that flyer, it has a QR code. Yeah. So you can drop things off. If you go to that QR code, I do believe it tells you the hours and stuff of where you can drop it off. We do have a few locations throughout the community. You can drop it at Harvest House, the resale store, or the main building during our regular hours. And you can have stuff delivered to Harvest House, like Amazon, Walmart, just like we do groceries. People do that. I have a really fun picture of like this huge Kroger delivery coming in. It was really fun through their van. But that's how they do it. You can just drop it off at our place where they're 9 to, I think they said 9 to 4 for donations. And I'm going to go to that page. See what it says there. I'm sorry, I've been off for a week.
No, that's fine. I was just thinking in my own situation, there's some things that we could probably drop off because, used doesn't necessarily means worn out. It just
not at all.
Let's just say that as I've gotten older, I needed bigger shirts. It's all the washing, no doubt, has shrunk my shirts. I'll
Absolutely.
go with that. I will go with that. So
yes.
There's certain shirts I have that are a bit too snug, but they're fine. And to be a complete and total waste to throw them out.
Absolutely.
And so, I could see, I'll talk to the wife about some of that. Now, what day, is there like a special day event? What day would that be?
It is November 14th. It's going to be at Harvest. December 14th at Harvest House. We're actually doing it a little different. We're going to actually have it at Harvest House, so families will come directly there if they're already pre-registered. This is a pre-registration thing. They have to go through Harvest House. They need to be clients, and they'll be able to come and pick up their stuff. It's going to be fun. So we'll have some volunteers, and we do right now, I know, need volunteers on Wednesdays, and then, and it's kind of a side note, but we'll need help, sorting these gifts and stuff. We set it up like a store so parents can pick items for their kids. And our resale store, this is a side note, sorry, I'm all over the place this morning. I'm coming off vacation, but needing volunteers who are really good at helping identify good quality items in our back room from those donations, because we get a lot, but it really takes an eye and somebody with a skill set to help price it, to help do that. So if that's something that's on somebody's heart, we would love to have you. Okay.
December 14th, is that Friday, I believe? No,
it's a Thursday.
Thursday, yes. Okay, I'm going through my calendar in my head. Yes, a Thursday. Now, is this going to be at both locations or the resale location?
It's going to be at the main building.
Main building, okay.
Yeah, it's not at the resale store.
Okay, it's over at Thomas and
349
Renfro.
Northwest Renfro.
Yeah.
So, but people who are signed up should know that. So we don't need extra people coming because they will. I don't want to turn anybody away because they will be. So
and they don't want to tell somebody no. That'd be a very uncomfortable conversation.
So that's kind of stuff that we just share with those who are registered and stuff like that. Let's see.
There's a related event going on this Thursday. If I want to kind of piggyback on
Toys for Tots.
Yes, we still have that, don't we, Taylor?
And we are actually receiving Toys for Tots items. So this is where we're going to get a lot of the younger items. It's 6 to 10 at Burleson High School. I can tell you that. I can't read that, but
well, I know. I had both Mr. Matson and Mr. Perdue on. About 10 days ago.
Yeah.
It's, when you go holidays, everything goes a blur. I think it was like a week ago Thursday. And it's going to be a big deal.
100 Elk Drive. I can read it.
Yeah.
So it's 6 to 10. That says 6 to 11:50, but I've been told it's 6 to 10.
It is 6 to 10.
But they're going to be there. I know my daughter's volunteering. The athletic trainers are helping. Harvest House will be receiving some of those items because that's specifically for the younger kids. And so that would be awesome. That's why we asked for the older stuff too, because we partner with places like Toys for Tots, and it's exciting.
Well, it's going to be a big deal. Last year when they did it over at Chisenhall, they had a really good turnout, but it caused some traffic problems on Hidden Creek. And so
Got it.
So that's why they thought they'd put it over at the stadium. And they're going to have performances and whatnot, and athletic teams are going to be helping load the trucks and unload the trunks from people coming by. And it's going. Their goal is 10,000 toys, and
they can do more than that.
Well, Mr. Matson's like, we're going to do that, and Mr. Perdue is like, I hope so.
I bet. Nah, you know what? This community is amazing, and I don't know if they've shared this, but so this is Toys for Tots just for Johnson County,
right?
So we've not had. Toys for Tots just in Johnson County. We've always had to receive it from Fort Worth or Tarrant County or Dallas or different places like that. And frequently we stopped doing Toys for Tots because we didn't always get it. But now that it's going to be in our community, we're going to be able to receive it, and we'll partner And I'm excited about Mike and Jack and their project because it means a lot to our community, and not having what you're giving Toys for Tots go into another community. Like, this will stay in Johnson County.
They were very specific about that.
Yes.
And this is the second time they've done it, and they were, I wouldn't say surprised, but they were pleasantly surprised last year with the response. Because, sometimes it takes 2, 3, 4 years to become an institution.
Yeah.
And it seemed like right away people responded, and you saw Toys for Tots boxes everywhere. I know I've seen them. I've seen it at our place. I've seen them at Old South. I've seen them at several other places around town. It's pretty common now. And I think it's a good thing.
It's a great thing. I'm personally very excited about it, just because it is just for Johnson County.
And like you mentioned, they did mention this as well. So what if you get a toy that you really can't use? And they said that they were going to give it to y'all.
Excellent. Probably their older stuff. And
because I think their age limit is around 12.
10.
10. Okay.
And so, but that's exactly it. And that's why we do our toy drive, because it's different focuses. And then, and we partner with other people. So sometimes if we have leftovers and there's an organization that needs stuff, it goes to kids. We find a spot for it, and we make sure it stays in our community.
Yeah.
Okay, I do have the hours. Thank you, Amber.
Okay.
It's Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 3:30 at the main building at 349 Northwest Renfro for donations. And then Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 9 to 6:30 at the resale store.
Now, you ever get too much stuff given? Because I know every time, like I mentioned earlier, every time I've gone by there to drop off what I think is kind of something small or routine, I've always had to wait.
At the resale store?
Yeah. I always have to wait. I mean, because there's always, 2 or 3 cars in front of me.
We have a couple times recently had to pause donations for like an hour to get caught up. Like if we do that, we do it for like an hour, because we only do that if there's a safety issue inside. We're like, but we have had some staff turnover, so we're refilling some positions and getting back on top of that. But that's where we're really seeking volunteers in that area. It's a fun area to do.
Well, I walked in there, not this last time, but a previous time when I dropped off a couch for my daughter's house. And there was a mountain of clothes. And I thought...
That's why we had the dollar sale.
Right. And I just said to Andy Gillespie, at least she was there. She's still there?
Yep.
Oh, good. I asked her, I said, how in the world are you ever going to unload all these clothes? And she goes, that won't be a problem.
See, it's the pile to the outside looks always the same, but it's not the same pile.
Yeah.
We go through that stuff, and actually we work it from different sides to make sure. But that's actually why... Because we know over the holidays, people get home and they start cleaning stuff out and they bring more. So that's why we've had these dollar sales. And I would guess that we'll have another one because it helps us to clear that out. We don't want to we don't want to bring it outside. And, people are like, why don't you do a, sidewalk sale? That's just a hassle.
Yeah, well.
We'd rather do because then it's a liability also for us when people are outside in the parking lot and there's people driving, and that's a horrible parking lot. But
yeah, well, you don't have a lot of parking at that place. You just use across the street, because I don't know much parking at that Renfro location.
No, but we're talking about
but the resale center,
the resale store.
Yeah, and the parking over there, you got to compete with CC's Pizza and all that other stuff.
It's really not bad. It's just a lot of people coming in and off of Renfro.
Yeah,
but there's other ways around it. So, but no, the parking at the Renfro our main building, it does sometimes get backed up. And Pathway's a good friend across the street. Dan helps us, and we can just get people off the road, because there have been times the police have called me and been like, "You're blocking traffic."
I'm sure they're very nice about it.
They're super nice about it, but we just have to redirect traffic through like a parking lot next door. It doesn't happen very often, but this is the kind of time when people are coming for food and stuff, because we will continue to give out turkeys and stuff. Now we kind of switched to Christmas meals. It's basically a similar meal, but that way families can also, because it's important. I mean, that sitting around the table and having a holiday meal is such an important piece of normalcy. If you're struggling financially, being able to host or bringing everybody together, I think that is such an important part of our community, our culture, our family togetherness, that out of all the things we do, that's one of the top important things that I think we do to bring families together.
Absolutely.
It gives them the opportunity to be with their people and not worry about it,
Yes, it is, because particularly for the kids, they need something like this, because adults, maybe mature enough to handle it, but kids know when they're missing out. This is what when I was talking to Mr. Perdue and Mr. Manson is like. I can't imagine waking up Christmas morning and not having toys. Like I mentioned earlier, my mom and dad made a lot of effort when we were younger to get us toys.
Right.
And then later, of course, we got socks, but our clothes, which isn't as much fun. But
I've
still,
had clothes my whole life.
I know, I'm just saying. Well,
I would get one toy and an outfit.
Yeah, it's like, oh,
that was
goody,
Christmas.
I got a new shirt. I wanted G.I. Joe. But anyway, but the thing is that for a lot of kids, they hear others, and particularly with social media, everybody gets on there and says, I got a new pony or something like that. And you feel like everybody else is having a better Christmas than you are, and it makes you feel bad.
It's interesting. So Ricky Estes on the video, go to our website, go to the donation page, and there's a video of Ricky Estes.
Okay.
And watch it. It's not very long, but the very last thing he says was, it allowed me as a child to have something to make friends with, to talk about this thing I got, or it was so profound to me. Like so he got G.I. Joe. So then he can go to school and talk about how he got G.I. Joe with his friends, and it helped him connect with other kids. And in our world, we are so isolated.
Very much so.
And as we move forward, America is the most isolated country probably in the world. We are so independent, and I don't want you to know that I'm struggling, and I don't want, I'm that way. I'm not pointing the finger at anybody, but we are. We don't like to ask for help. And so this creates a normalcy for kids to be able to, and that's why we do gift cards. I went through a training that we're actually going to do and if anybody's interested, let me know. It's called Bridges Out of Poverty by Ruby Payne.
I've read that book.
Okay, well, we're doing a training on the 8th. It's going to be, if you're not part of our staff, it's all going to be video. So if you're interested, I can send you a link to actually watch this. And this is open to the public. But it is the most life-changing training I've ever gone to in my life. And it changed how I viewed what we do. And that's why I like doing gift cards. Because if I hand you as a parent a gift card and you can go shop at Walmart and you can get exactly what it empowers you to be a parent, to be a normal parent, what you consider normal. And if you want to give your kid that gift card so they can go pick out what they want, that's an empowerment that people in many situations lose.
Yes. Well, you mentioned Ruby Payne. We were assigned to read that book and another companion book about the impacts that poverty have on education. And a lot of times it's summer reading and summer seminars we go to are just a whooping. You just hate them. But this one I really did get a great deal from. I forget when we did it, probably 15 years ago. But I read the book and I thought, this is actually information I could use.
Yes.
And so I highly endorse Ruby Payne.
Well, and we got a grant through the Communities Foundation. I think that's who it was from. So literally, I think we can have up to 100 attendees. So if anybody listening is interested, email me at jennifer@yourharvesthouse.org. And it's Jennifer at harvesthouse.org. And I will send you the link. It's life-changing. And I think everybody in the whole world should go to this training because it helps you to have compassion and empathy and understanding, not of everybody. So let's say you're in poverty. It helps you to understand people in middle class and with wealth. If you're in wealth or middle class, it helps you to understand all the different things. It's the whole concept, I can't go to the White House and feel comfortable and know how to act because there's rules. I don't know those rules. I can't go to many situations and feel comfortable because I don't know the rules. And it's the same thing in each middle class, poverty, upper class, whatever you want to call it. It's just a reality. And it's not good, bad, or otherwise. It's just understanding culture. And I think that's where it's changed me a lot, is understanding when you see things on the news or you see whatever, understanding, or even the people that come to Harvest House, what's your situation? Help me. You just got out of prison. I have no idea what your situation is. I don't know why you got on drugs. I don't know what happened to you from the beginning. What kind of traumas have you gone through? And it helps you to look at that person as a whole person who is valuable, who deserves better, who needs somebody to care about them and not judge them. So anyway, that's it's so good. I'm so excited about it, if you can't tell.
We're going to have to calm me down. So this will calm me down. We'll talk about our second round of sponsors. Actually, Thursday's going to be a big day at community, not just for Closer Tots, but also for Gala store over at Southern Gym. Hey, you pass over it. There you go. Southern Gym is having like a trunk sale of sorts on Thursday at their location. It's one of their vendors is coming in, and they're having tremendous discounts. And Robin was telling me about this weekend, and it's going to be, one of their main vendors is coming with all sorts of inventory, and it's going to be at very steep discounts.
Cool.
So, make plans if you're looking for a Christmas gift. Certainly Southern Gym can provide that for you. And they're going to be open up for at least an hour longer till about 6 every night that they're open, and also every Saturday from 9 to 3. So my wife's like, I'm going to have to, get my rest because she's going to be working a lot of hours, and that's a good thing for the budget anyway.
Right.
Yeah, but anyway, the Southern Gym will really set you up pretty well for whatever you want for Christmas. And particularly if you're looking for something, Thursday's a good day to do it. So thank you, Gala. And also thank you to John over at Old Pro. John Williams, 817-734-2756. Come check your roof out. It's supposed to be some rain and weather coming up this weekend, so you might want to get it checked if you're concerned about your roof, and they'll tell you what the straight story is, that you need some repairs or you're good to go. And they're local home folks. Their office is in Old Town, so you're dealing with people and have been around a long time. So thank you to John. Also, thank you to our friends at Camco, Sammy Campbell and Candy Gal, that help you with the mortgage. Actually, they said the mortgage rates came down a little bit over the last 10 days. Yeah, I don't know, not dramatically, but maybe they're hoping that the rise has kind of cooled off and maybe start trending downward now. But if you're looking to move in this area, they're the people to talk to about your mortgage. So call Sammy at 817-778-4592 or Candy at 817-925-2661. They do refinance, and I know because they've done it for me twice in other locations, other jobs. But this is their own business, and they're still here, though, in Burleson. They've been working in Burleson all this time. They're over at the B&G complex and that southern building on the 3rd floor. Also, tomorrow I'm going to have Matt Cobb on. This ought to be fun because the Cobb Plumbing has been on forever. They started, I believe, like in the late 40s, and they've been in the Burleson area since 1970. And Matt will tell you, if you're listening to the show, we hear it on this podcast later, tell them you heard it here and you get 10% off. But I'm going to talk to them tomorrow about what's it like to take over a family business with that kind of reputation, which is a sterling reputation. They've been in our home a few times. We've been in that house for 30-something years, and occasionally we've had plumbing needs, and they're the people we call. So even long before they were sponsors. So Cobb Plumbing, give them a holler if you need some plumbing work. I'm looking forward to that show, really, because it's interesting to me because we don't have a lot of Burleson businesses that have been here that long, and because we're still grown so much. So it'll be interesting to get his perspective as a long-term Burlesonian. Anyway, tomorrow is Giving Day, is it not?
Yes, it is.
Okay, do you have a little flag for that as well?
I don't have a flag for that. That's just one of those things that's happening all over. Harvest House is obviously participating, and what Giving Day is just a reminder of all these things that we've done. We've gone out shopping, we've had Black Friday, we've gotten all our deals, we've got Small Business Saturday, which blesses our community, and then Cyber Monday, and then Tuesday is like, hey, don't forget that we need to give back to our community. And so it's just an opportunity for everybody to remember to make a donation to their favorite nonprofit, which I hope is Harvest House. And you can go to yourharvesthouse.org and make a donation. I am going to give a little bit of a heads up. We're in the process of changing from Network for Good, which is where you make your donation. So unfortunately, come January, I'm going to be contacting people to change their, sending them a link to sign up to the new site. We tried to get it done before the end of year stuff. It didn't happen time-wise. We're just off by like 3 weeks, but which is a hassle and all that. And I apologize to everybody who gives, including you. But we'll be reaching out to everybody. So if you give, just know we're going to be doing that. But Giving Tuesday is an opportunity to help us meet our end of year goals. I think at this point we're about 30,000. We raised 30,000 with our fundraiser, our brunch. So we're much closer to our end of year giving goal, but I think we still have about 30,000 that we need to raise before the end of the year to meet our goals. And this sets us up for next year. And couple of the things we're really trying to do in 2024. And so we're asking for people to consider being a monthly giver, and at any amount, $5, $100, $1,000, $10,000. We like them all.
Monthly giver, $10,000.
That'd be awesome. Well, we take one-time gifts, we take monthly gifts. And like I said, that is going to change, but we are working on our long-term stabilization program. Mm-hmm. And what this money does is it helps us to help a lot of these families who are in crisis, who have gone through something, or maybe they just never learned the life skills on how to manage their money or how to do whatever they need to do. And so our long-term stabilization program comes alongside families for multiple months. I mean, it varies by what their need is. One example I have is this young man who got out of prison. He had been in prison for 15 years. He had no idea what spam email was. He didn't understand. I mean, think of all the things that have changed in a year electronically. So here he comes and he's very confused. So we walk alongside him. He has a job. He ended up getting a payday loan to help with his motorcycle. And so not understanding all the things. So he came into us. We were able to set him up on this program. I think we helped him for 3 months. We paid his mortgage. His job, he made enough money to pay off his payday loan. He came in so excited, just showing us the receipt that he had paid it off. And even his landlord came into our office and thanked us for helping this guy. And he is now working. He's doing all the things, because a lot of times people just need that transition assistance, from crisis to to stable. And that's what our long-term stabilization program is for. We've got education, we've got financial literacy classes. We're working with Texas AgriLife, and we have some ESL classes. So if anybody is interested in even helping us offer more classes, we're also looking for volunteers who have an expertise in an area that's a life skill that would be beneficial for people to have. And we offer 1 or 2 a day to help accommodate people, because we want them to work. And so we got to be a little bit flexible. But that's our goal, is that over the next few years, we continue to grow that program. But it costs about, depending on the family, but the average is probably about $4,500 per family to help them in a year. So that's what we're looking for. As we go into Giving Tuesday, we're looking to set ourselves up so next year we've already every quarter we want to add a new family.
Taylor just notified me he has the video of Mr. Estes if you want to see it.
Oh, you do? Yeah.
Well, let's try that towards the end of the show.
We got time. It's like 3 minutes-ish or something like that.
Well, let's try it towards the end of the show. Yeah, but this Giving Tuesday, this is not the same thing as North Texas Giving Day.
No,
like
it's
in
not.
September. Okay. Because that was like a well-publicized thing. I did not know about Giving Tuesday till last week.
It's not our biggest focus. We still participate, but I'll be honest, it's not our biggest focus. Just because I think it does confuse people. It's a nice idea, but I think it does confuse people, because as an organization, we really focus on communicating with our donors and sponsors and new people about our end of year. So like Local Life, we will be the front page story this December. Super excited.
Is that right?
Yep, Harvest House. So sharing a little bit more about who we are, what we're doing, and I'm really hoping that we get some good response, so that this is not about Jennifer. It's not about any of our other staff. It's not even really about Harvest House. I mean, we are a conduit to help our community become stronger. And if we have the support from the community, and we help people who are struggling, our community is going to be stronger. We're going to have less issues, because issues come out of need, whether it's emotional, social, financial, all of these things come out of need. And as we grow, we want to look at the whole person and we even have our Love, Joy, Peace program. I think I've talked about it before. And if I haven't, I'm going to repeat it.
Repeat it, please.
So we have partnered with Texas Health Hughley Hospital. I've been on a committee for the last couple of years, and we've implemented our pilot program in May. And basically what that does is, as people come into Harvest House, we just talk to them and we find out, do you have love in your life? Do you have joy in your life? And do you have hope in your life? And if you don't, if you answer no to any of those, we refer you to a faith community. And as this program grows, it will grow into really whatever faith you are. I mean, we right now are a Christian organization, so that's where we're connected. But what we want is for people to find community, because with community, just like we were talking about earlier, we're so isolated. If you have community to support you, that will help. And then if we get to that point and the people need more than that, we refer them to Texas Health Eagley Hospital for behavioral health. So like if you are really depressed, if you're suicidal, if you're any of those types of things, we have a resource, a network to help people get the help they need, because the only way we can do this is as a community. And so that's what we're focusing on, is this long-term whole approach, food, clothing. And then we're not the counselors, but we're connected with the people, and it's about creating the community to come back together. And I mean, Harvest House was created to be the benevolence program here in Burleson. It was started by the Burleson Ministerial Alliance in 1984. In 2012, it became an independent nonprofit, which is good because then it's available for more grants and stuff like that. But we still keep that same tenet of faith. And, I've had some people ask me, are we associated with this religion or that religion? And we're not, because we're open. We as an organization are a Christian faith-based organization, but we are open to everybody in our community.
Right.
Everyone is welcome. We have people who come in sometimes that are drunk, that are on drugs, that are not in their best place in life. And it's not what we want, but the reality is people come in as they are. And we want them to feel loved and valued and to get them the assistance they need. We partner with the police department if they're in domestic violence situations, that we partner with so many other places to help them get what they need.
One thing that I remember when all you and your peers were here about 2 months ago is that y'all have a lot of collaboration with each other. And almost all of them are faith-based, but they're not doctrinaire, so to speak. They're not there to say, well, you need to be a certain type of person to receive gifts or aid or whatever. But don't most people know that you're a Christian-based organization, or are they surprised when they walk in?
No,
they know.
But some people have asked recently, and they aren't bad questions. They want to know how they're supporting, who they're supporting. I get it. But we follow traditional Christian principles, but every single person is welcome at Harvest House, regardless.
Well, and that's what your peers have all said. They said, we're not going to give them some sort of religious test to qualify for what we do for them. And as far as what the city can do is that I've been talking with Victoria 2 or 3 shows now about their involvement in this. And they can't do financial because of the faith-based. And then also you get a lot of politics involved about my money's going to a group I don't support, blah, blah, blah. So, but that doesn't mean the city doesn't have an assistance role they can play. And and she's talking about like getting all together and creating like a database almost about where to go for all these different things. And it sounds like y'all are way ahead of it, though. For listening to you and to Lisa Schwartz and to Megan over at Next Step, it sounds like this is something y'all been doing already.
This stuff's been going on. I mean, for the 7 years I've been here, I have collaborated with all of those organizations, Promises, the Family Crisis Center, all of them, and it's just really important. And also understand Crowley House of Hope, because we do serve some Tarrant County, basically I-20 South. So Everman, we just opened an office there on Thursday mornings from 10 to noon. And all we do is help sign people up and let them know about Harvest House, because that community just is so underserved and they have such great need. And also having an office there will help us to get funding, because we have Tarrant County space. The school district has graciously given this to us for free. We're doing a 1-year pilot. It seems to be working really well. We do it at the same time as the food pantry that the Everman United Methodist Church right next door. So, and then the school district does a food distribution once a month. And so we do it at that same time. So families can come for things like clothing vouchers and such, but a lot of their food and stuff goes there. They can still come to Harvest House, but they've been doing that for years. But there's such a great need. And
you mentioned Everman's underserved. Are most of the communities around us, would you consider to be underserved? Because we have a pretty extensive network here in Burleson.
Burleson is great. But see, most of those other communities have to come to Burleson. It's just like in the past, and even for some things, we still have to go to Fort Worth. So like you have to go to Fort Worth for certain services. You know, the growing base of Burleson is sort of becoming that hub for this area. There's kind of a network down in Cleburne, and it kind of creates these circles of, you know, not having to drive hours to services. And the more that we connect together, like Crowley House, we sometimes will share helping financial aid. So a lot of these are like promises. Crowley House of Hope, a family may come in and maybe they have a really big bill and everybody's like, yeah, we really need to help them, but we can't pay for it. So we'll call, we've had assistance from First United Methodist, Burleson Church of Christ, Crowley House of Hope, Promises. Sometimes all four of us, or even Pathway, will come together and we'll pay that bill, but not one of us can do it alone. You know, but they're vetted through that organization, and so that's part of our collaboration. It really strengthens the community when we can be all together.
You know, are you getting more people, like say from Alvarado or Joshua or Keene?
We always have.
Okay.
But in Alvarado, they have Alvarado Helping Hands for Jesus, and that organization is growing. So I would say we've seen a few less from Alvarado because they're building their network, you know, but Everman doesn't have that, you know. So we kind of share that area with Crowley House of Hope because they've expanded past Crowley the last few years.
Aren't they just right down the street from us here in the studio?
Yeah, they're like right there.
I need to drop by sometime. And
Do you know
them.
Elizabeth?
I have not met anybody.
Oh, she's fabulous.
I need to get up. They need to come on the show because this show hopefully has some more reach.
She could walk here.
Well, there you go. I'll maybe on.
They have a medical clinic. They do the back to school and all those things too. Originally, it was started by the Methodist Church, and they were just for Crowley ISD. I know they've made some changes, so they've expanded out of just Crowley ISD. But
Sherry Scott says Elizabeth is great.
Yes, she is.
Okay.
She's absolutely, and she's great to work with. And so again, it's just that whole thing. Like we're not in competition because I can't serve. Harvest House can't serve everybody. House of Hope can't serve everybody. But together with our church partners, you know, we can do that. We can.
Well, I noticed that when y'all were together a couple of months ago, all 8 of y'all were here. Absolutely zero competition or rivalry between y'all. It was like a sisterhood. Well, it really was very sweet to see and reassuring that they were all like more than glad to say, if I can't do it, I know these people can. And there was no issue about that whatsoever.
And not that this. I mean, I personally support a couple of those organizations because I believe in what they do. I support my own.
Yeah, right.
I also support my own, but I think it's important that we say these causes are important. It's okay to support them all. It's okay to support one. You know, that's how we survive. And there's enough people in this area to keep us all going and being profitable. Yeah. And I mean that profitable so that we can, you know, do more. You know, I know I'm here for Harvest House, but I would just say right now, like I've gotten really involved with Center for ASD and they are amazing. But, you know, a lot of those families can't afford to send their kids. And these are, I don't know. I just watched that. That's another organization you got to support. Yeah. You just have to because they just do something that no one else does. And the families just struggle.
Wow. So there's Bianca Lowry who works for
yes, Bianca. I love you guys. I really do.
You know, she's part of that little BNI group I'm in, and she's a real sweet young lady, and I just think the world of her and people like her that do this because they could do other things for a living, but this is how they choose to live their life.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that video of Mr. Estes.
Okay.
Taylor, you say you have it booked up?
He's on.
All right. Now let's let this roll and see what we got.
Well, I've always been in Burleson. I was literally born in Hughley Hospital, and I've kind of lived here my whole life. And I'm just a normal guy, but honestly, I feel like I have a story to share, and it has to do with the help that the Harvest House gave my family. My name is Ricky Estes, and about 25 years ago, my parents, like many others, ended up having a divorce. And so my mom ended up being a single mom with 3 kids. You would look at our situation, you wouldn't think that we were any different just from the outside looking in, but in a lot of ways we were really struggling. You know, I got used to having beanie weenies every single night for an entire week. I got used to having hamburger helper over and over again, and I didn't think anything different of it. And we went to a place called Harvest House to get our Christmas gifts. And to me, as a child, I thought we were just going to a Walmart. And I remember picking up a jacket and wearing that jacket for the next 3 years. I remember getting Power Rangers. And looking back on it now, I got to have a normal childhood because of what Harvest House did for me and my family. I was talking to my mom just 6 months back, probably, and was just asking her, hey, can you tell me a little bit about it? You probably remember a little better than I do. And she just paused, and tears filled her eyes, and she's like, I wanted to give you kids everything. And I remember one year that my daughter, your sister, really wanted a bike. And there was no way I was going to be able to afford that. So we go in there, and they're like, what would you like? And I just said, is there a bike? And I just knew they weren't going to have one. Next thing I knew, they're wheeling it out, and your sister's just celebrating. She's like, and I'm just crying. And even though we didn't have much over the years after that, I decided that I was going to help. The next time that we had money, I was going to take an angel off that tree, and I was going to support them. So not only did it help me, help my sister, it helped the spirit of giving. It helped having a mindset shift of, even though I'm down and out, I'm going to help someone else. And it's just amazing the legacy that Harvest House gives, not only to help a child experience joy and help a mother to feel relief, but also to create a legacy of let's give back. I'm thoroughly impressed. They just seem to get better and better. I know with my direct involvement that I have with them at the church, that they are helping pay people's electric bills, that they are helping provide food and services to people that don't know where else to get it. They are trying to create opportunities for people to come and to serve, as well as even opening up that retail shop that they have in town to try to generate more revenue, not for the sake of having a better bottom line, but for the sake of giving more to the community. And I just think there's such a good vision insofar as, because of all the impact that we are making here, why would we not want to scale it up to be able to have more of an impact? And I think that's just wonderful. I think a lot of people think it's about the stuff. And really, it isn't even necessarily about that. The stuff does have an importance. You have the ability to kind of play with it, wear it. But really, it's the connection that you get to have with your peers because you have it. And the love that your parents want to show to allow you to have that connection and have those relationships. And unfortunately, it's sometimes the things that allow us to be able to have those connections and have those relationships that we wouldn't have otherwise. And so it's not even in the sense that you're giving the kid a toy. Sometimes you're giving the kid a toy, and because of that, he meets his best friend. And it's amazing how material things can sometimes lead to immaterial that are far more valuable. And if I hadn't had the opportunity, in a lot of ways, I think my life would be a lot different, oddly enough. Yeah, I would encourage you to come and check it out for yourself. They have open books, they have open policies, they have open anything and everything that you can think of. There is no secrets when it comes to the Harvest House. And if there's any hesitation at all, I would say come and check it out. But I know them to be an upstanding, honest organization that I believe in with my whole heart. And I think that if you would just to peel back one layer, you would want to support them not only financially, but also with your time. There are many things that we will regret when we stand at the end of this life, but I think giving back is not one of them. So I'd encourage you to go in and find out the heart behind it, and maybe you'll catch it for your own heart too.
That's a very powerful testimony. Very
That's what I mean. It's like, you just go, wow.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know what he was going to say. And when I watched the video back, I was like, wow.
Nothing beats a testimonial of somebody that has used your services. I could sit there and say, hey, we need to support this all day long, but somebody that had his life materially changed in a very fundamental way.
And I look at who he is, and I don't know if people know who he is, but like I said before, he owned Smoothie King, and now he's Edward Jones financial advisor. He's one of the associate pastors at Crestmont Baptist. I mean,
that's where I've heard the name.
Yeah, he's a very I don't know. He has a very great life. I mean, he's just stable. And you think, because like, oh, they're in poverty. Well, look, it's just, he became what's the word I'm looking for? You know,
well, he's very
a valuable person of the community.
Oh, sure.
What's the word? Contributing.
Yeah.
That's
very
what I'm
much
saying.
so. Yeah.
And that's what giving Christmas or back to school or helping somebody keep the lights on, especially as electric bills are going to be insane now. It's getting cold, you know, so come January, we're going to need a lot of help for financial assistance, you know, things like that. And we want that to be the biggest part of our budget. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, we're getting close to the end of the time. I guess to sum all this up, you got tomorrow, you have the Giving Day. And then you have December 14th, you have for the clientele you serve, you're going to have a special day for them.
Yes.
We also have Toys for Tots on Thursday evening, which you do benefit from.
Yes.
The Marines may be putting it on, but you're going to be a recipient of some of that. You know, it's really kind of ironic. You know, I had a video clip with Jack and Mike here too. They have showed a couple of Marines giving gifts, and they all got choked up. You know, these big tough Marines. You know, because
I know.
You know, it's just I don't know. That's the way it is. But it's a good thing. And so we got a lot of stuff going on before Christmas, and that's just dealing with y'all. I know that Promises is needing, and I got Debbie coming on fairly soon.
What are they doing? Do you know?
Not so much as special like a day or something like that, but they've told us through the church that get ready because we're going to be needing stuff because they know that their business is picking up.
Yes.
All right, and so as far as other groups, some of them aren't as Christmas related, so to speak, like Lisa's over at Crazy 8 or Megan's at Next Step, but they still have fundraisers and they still need money.
Well, I know Megan is doing a baby shower type thing. I don't know what Crazy 8's doing. I know that Center for ASD, they have a tree of needs as well. So go to their websites, centerforasd.org, nextstepwomencenter.org. And
Next Step Heroes, I think they're called.
Oh, yeah, Next Step Heroes.
Yeah. Well, so everybody around here has an uptick in business, particularly in the wintertime, particularly at Christmas time.
Yep. So,
guys, you know, let's remember that because sometimes we get so dialed in on Christmas season, you know, taking care of family and taking care of, you know, travel arrangements and all this other business. Sometimes we can get too hyper-focused on ourselves and our needs. So we need to, you know, keep your eyes open for opportunities.
And just know Harvest House, and we let our clients know this, but Harvest House closes I think it's the 22nd this year before Christmas. And then we are closed through the first week of January.
Yeah, I bet you have some people that miss your services in those 2 weeks, but you got to give your staff some time.
It is. It's a time to regroup. There's always ways that we help emergency situations. So it's kind of a standard time that's why we communicate, but we just, you know, we need time to just breathe also and regroup and get ready for the next year. So we try to communicate really well so people can get extra food if they need it and plan for it. So.
Well, it's a great show as always. You know,
thanks for having me. Appreciate it as always.
I'd never have to worry about, you know, okay, am I gonna have to pull anything out of the guest? You know, not that it happens very often, but sometimes some guests are a little less expressive. And you take it and go. I can go. You know, that's fine with me. You know, that works for me.
Yeah, I'm kind of passionate sometimes.
That's good. So it works for me. So guys, share this show because we got a lot of people that. Need to hear this information. A lot of people say, I'd like to help, but I don't know where. Well, now you do. You can share the show. You got all these other groups, you know. I got some friends are watching. Erica Shoe Lover over at Reach, over at Cross Johnson County. You got Bianca watching. I'm sure Megan will watch later. You know, so there's lots going on in this community. And thank God we live in a community like this where we have a lot of people that do these things. Tomorrow, it's going to be Matt Cobb. Like I mentioned, I'll be looking forward to that. And Thursday, we have Cody O'Brien. So we'll have some fun things to talk about then. And we'll talk to y'all tomorrow.
Thank you.